And normally here on the show, I'm asking Nolan and Scott questions. Right now, I want to ask you guys listening, watching, the question. I want you to think about this. When you log into your financial accounts, what is the number that needs to be at the bottom of the page before you would feel completely comfortable at retiring? Well, three-quarters of Americans responding to a survey said $1 million would be the trick. On the other hand, a quarter of the baby boomers surveyed said there's actually no amount of money that would make them comfortable. Do you fall in line with any of those? Nolan, what are your thoughts on what it would take for someone to feel confident about their retirement prospects?
Yeah, I think people do want to know their numbers, and before what happened in 2022, I think that $1 million was kind of the rule of thumb, and
Hmm.
it seemed like about 73% of surveyed Americans would feel great about retiring at the age of 66 with $1 million in savings. I've seen some other surveys that after what happened last year with the decline in the market, with high inflation, that number has jumped to 1.25 million. So I would first of all, I would caution those people that are listening that if you're thinking, oh my gosh, I don't have $1.25 million in my 401k, I can never retire. What your number is your number. And if you want to know your number, one of the things that we did is we created a process that we trademarked. It's called the independent income system. Within the independent income system, what we do is we put the numbers in there and we take a look at things like what type of income sources do you have, what are some of the expected returns for the different buckets of money, what is the time frame, what is your social security, and we can give you your number. So if you're listening today and you want to know what your number is, when you give us a call and you want to retire with confidence, ask us to run the independent income system calculator. We'll run that and we'll get you the number. Here's a couple other tips for you on how to have more confidence. First and foremost, you want to make sure that you have enough reliable income. So, reliable income, what am I talking about there? Well, I'm talking about Social Security, your pension income. Sometimes you could consider stock dividends and interest. That yield is reliable income. You have some type of annuities that provide a form of reliable income. When you look at that, I think the people that have confidence are people that have enough reliable income to cover all of the things that they need, all of their paychecks, if you will. Their other money is for their playchecks, money to have fun and take trips. And so, if the market doesn't work out the way that they expected, maybe they don't take that big vacation this year, but they still have enough reliable income. The second thing I think is a general theme that I've seen of confident retirees is, they are debt free. So don't go out right before retirement time and, buy maybe a big house. It's going to be your second house.
Hmm.
Maybe work your way into retirement. Take a vacation a couple times. Maybe rent one of those vacation homes and see how the first couple of years go. Don't take on massive debt. In fact, work towards paying off debt, because I think being debt free is going to give you a lot of freedom in the retirement time. Next, you want to make sure that you have a bucket of money that's designed to give you a pay raise in the future. Nobody really talked about inflation until over the last year. But for a retiree, inflation is always going to be an area that you need to build in a plan to deal with higher healthcare costs, higher taxes. Retirees are going to have higher expenses with food and energy, and having a bucket of money that's designed to give you a pay raise in the future will be another way to give you some more confidence. Next, you want to have an emergency account. An emergency account is everything from, what if there's damage to the roof and I need to fix that, or my car breaks down, to dealing with the issues of what if there's an unexpected or unplanned for healthcare crisis. And within that emergency account, you want to try to look at leveraging all of those assets to say, what could blow this up? One of the things that can blow it up for a lot of families in retirement time is a major unexpected healthcare crisis. So situations that I've seen in the past is, people who retire before Medicare age, they kind of decide to gamble with their future and not get health insurance because they're healthy and they should make it to retirement. All of a sudden have some type of healthcare issue come up. They have no coverage. Now all of a sudden they're way upside down with major healthcare expenses. Extending that out to where one of the spouses gets sick, and has some type of major healthcare crisis where they start to spend down their assets in a form of like long-term care can wipe families out too. But these are areas where you can put a shield over top of your assets to kind of, build them out, to be able to look at all of those areas, to give you more confidence to move through retirement time. That research is going to help you take a look at, what age and what number you need to have to feel confident. Retirement should be the point of time in your life to enjoy the luxury of what you've got. If you're just in retirement or a couple of years from your retirement and you're not feeling really comfortable, if this economy has you maybe a little bit worried, a little bit uncertain about what your plan is, you're the type of person that we should have a conversation with. Let's talk about how do we build that confidence for you. I can show you again what 30 years of experience has taught me about helping people get to, through, and enjoy retirement time as well. One of the ways that we can do that is we can take all of your financial information together. We can put it in that independent income system and run the calculator. We can tell you what your number should or could be to get you to be confident to move through retirement time. We would be happy to do that. If you give us a call, if you haven't seen that calculator, that's something we'd be happy to do. Again, for the first 5 people who give us a call from either watching our show or seeing our podcast or listening to us on radio, we'd be happy to run that analysis for you to get you a little bit more confident in today's environment.
Again, completely complimentary to you if you're one of the first 5 callers. It's not going to cost you anything but your time. And if it does, in fact, help you feel a bit more confident about your retirement prospects, I dare say time certainly well spent. So here's the number, 419-794-3030. That's the number. Once again, 419-794-3030. If you are feeling nervous about, how the market has been the past year, how it's going to possibly be in the coming year, and your retirement prospects are a little shaky, finding out where you are, and if there is a situation where you actually do need to do a good bit of work, it is better to find out about it now so you can start taking those steps. You may be in the opposite direction. You may find out you're pretty good to go, and wouldn't you want to find out as well? So take advantage of this. Be one of the first 5 callers, 419-794-3030.